This is Murder in the Morning with Tony Bruschi and Stacey Cole.
When you're facing federal indictment for trafficking charges and stuff, you want anything that makes you look bad to go away. And Sean Diddy Combs is in that position right now. He wants decades of alleged sexual assault accusations erased from his criminal trial. And his lawyers are telling the court that if those claims are allowed in, the entire case is going to spiral out of control.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it kind of already has. I think we've reached that bridge a long time ago. And it's one of those bridges where, like, if you're the ship going down the river, you had your masts up way too high and your smokestack, and you didn't follow any of the rules, and you took the bridge out with you. According to newly filed motions in federal court, Combs' legal team is trying to block what they call uncorroborated crimes dating back to the 1980s. Oh, okay. They argue that this kind of evidence doesn't just distract, it poisons the well. In their words, it could make it impossible for Combs to get a fair trial. But the government's not backing down. Prosecutors fired back, saying that those past allegations don't just paint a pattern. They help prove the entire enterprise behind the charges Combs is actually facing. They're calling the stories from alleged victims direct evidence of the racketeering operation, which includes everything from sex trafficking and prostitution to kidnapping and arson. According to them, this isn't some series of unrelated claims. It's all part of a criminal machine. Right now, Combs is staring down a hefty federal indictment. He was first arrested back in September of 24, charged with racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. But things got heavier last week when a superseding indictment tacked on two more charges, another sex trafficking count and another for transportation to engage in prostitution. And while he's pled not guilty to everything, the list of people accusing him of misconduct has ballooned. The real turning point came in late 23 when his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit claiming rape, trafficking, and physical abuse. It was settled quickly, but the damage was done. Since then, at least 120 accusers have stepped forward, according to Texas attorney Tony Busby. Combs' legal team says that if the courts admit these decades of allegations, the trial will explode into a logistical nightmare. I think nobody's worrying about the logistics here anymore, Diddy. They're just worried about prosecuting you and getting the reality and facts in. If there's just a ton of it, well, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have done a ton of it if it's all true. What they call a series of mini trials. They're predicting a delay of months or even years just to sort through that mess. So there you go. Are we going to see this in April? Likely not. The original trial was only expected to take 3 weeks. Now, who knows? They've asked for a preliminary hearing to vet any past allegations before they hit the jury. And they're also drawing a hard line between the charges and the indictment. And the new allegations swirling around him, the indictment, they say, is about alleged coercion and abuse in personal relationships, not a sprawling criminal conspiracy that spans continents and unnamed witnesses. Their position, if the government wants to convict Combs, they need to do it with the charges they actually filed, not just drown the jury in 3 decades of scandal and dirt, then hope it sticks. As the defense put it, the government should not be permitted to pollute the trial by painting Mr. Combs as a bad guy who must have committed the charged crimes. The prosecution, on the other hand, is holding firm. They say that the evidence isn't just relevant, it's critical. They argue it demonstrates exactly how Combs ran his alleged criminal network, detailing a pattern of what they call persistent and pervasive abuse. They're not just trying to shock the jury, they're trying to show a strategy that he wasn't confused or clumsy. He allegedly knew exactly what he was doing. They also say there's no need for a preliminary hearing. The court already has detailed summaries of the victims' stories and the evidence to back them up. According to the government, Combs' request to review the evidence in advance is just a slick attempt to cross-examine victims twice before the trial even begins. May 5th is supposedly when opening arguments will begin. Kind of doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, I do too. Hey, can you check my screen for a second?
Oh, there you are. You have an animal.
I'm sorry. I was quietly giggling
Yeah.
as you were talking, and I was hoping that people weren't like, "What is she laughing about?" Well, my cat just showed up. He doesn't usually do this.
All
When we're
you see
recording.
is a tail right now on screen,
Yeah.
actually. Oh, there's the head.
Yeah.
There's the cat. Which is this? Which cat is that?
This is Spike.
Spike. Okay.
He's a Siamese mix. He's kind of a terrorist, but he just made an appearance.
I did see him waving terrorist flags the other day in the background.
Yeah,
It
he's brutal.
Yeah.
He's a killer. You want to talk about serial killer? This guy, he lived on the streets for a while. He could hold his own.
Mice are doing true crime podcasts about Spike right now.
I guarantee it right now. Yep.
So we have all of these. Number one, I think this is more posturing by the defense of Diddy. You can't add all these things in there. Well, of course you can't. They're civil cases. They're not. But there are a handful of women that did originally have civil cases that have been brought into this. It's not 120. It's like 4, I think. Like it's a very small amount that are in the actual federal indictment. And with those handful, they think that they can prove their case. They don't need 120. Now, will more be added in there? You need more time? Okay, this could take a little bit if you want that, and you probably do need that. What I'm concerned about here at this point is getting the witnesses who are going to testify to that stand to testify before something else happens.
Yeah. And my concern is we keep talking about May 5th. I've got it on our calendar of things to watch. That's less than a month. How in the world is this case going to go in less than a month?
We're already hearing them talking about wanting more time. So I'm surprised we didn't hear it already. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that after the first superseding indictments, we didn't have it. Then we had the other ones last week that we didn't hear it yet. Now we're starting to hear it. So I do think that we're going to see more of it. At the end of the day, Cassie Ventura can completely sink him. Her alone can completely sink him.
Yep.
Because she has it all. She has the story. She was with him for years. We have the video of her being abused. So unless they're going to put her on the stand and Diddy's people are going to say, you're lying about everything except that video. Not a good look. She has everything. She has the trafficking stories. She has the prostitution stories. She has everything.
She's got the receipts, man.
She has all the receipts. Her alone can sink you.
That video is going to sink him.
That's going to sink him, but her testimony is also going to sink him to just give it more backup. That's my concern. Her safety between now and then.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It feels like people around him have had some things happen.
Yeah. There's a track record there and a pattern of behavior. Granted, he is behind bars and a lot of people are feeling safe enough to speak out, but I don't doubt that there's not a handful of people on the outside that are still doing Diddy's bidding.
Yep, he's got people. He was a huge music mogul, lots of money, lots of influence. These people almost need to be in witness protection as far as I'm concerned. I would be terrified if I had to testify against him, take him down, destroy people's livelihood, because there are people who rely on this man for money.
Yeah.
She's going to bring him down. She needs protection.
Yeah, she does. I mean, I hope she's getting that. That is my big concern, where like, I don't want to say it, but I would not be surprised if we came in one day and the headline is that something had happened to her. Something like a car accident, got hit by a bus, or,
Yeah, we're going to cut her brake line,
lobar pneumonia.
Right.
Or something.
These are just alleged things.
Yeah, something of that nature that suddenly comes to someone of a young, healthy age. And I'm concerned about that. And you can connect the dots. I'm sure they can connect the dots. Now, some of the other Jane Does are not testifying under their own name. But if you're the prosecution or the defense, you're going to be able to figure out who those people are. Now,
Yeah.
the public is not, hopefully, although, some good sleuth work could probably do that. But it can be figured out if it wants to be figured out. And I wouldn't be just resting my laurels on using a Jane Doe in a case like this. I would put money that there's a target on every one of them in some way, shape, or form.
Well, imagine the celebrities, too, that are part of this. Then you got that. Named.
Then you got that. Then you got a vested interest in other people that are on the outside, that do have more resources, that also don't want to be drug into this.
Right.
Or have it turn into a separate case if they find some tentacles out here that involve other people that deserve their own prosecution.
Yeah.
Which does exist. This is a RICO case. Others have not yet been indicted. So we know there are others because this is about organized crime.
Correct. It's not just him.
It's not just him. So who are the other participants? That's the question. I'm sure some have made deals already, and that's where they're getting some of their information. But I would imagine there's more out there that may not be as lucky to face a deal, and will likely more so face prosecution for their involvement in this or their own bad acts. Because let's be honest, if you're getting down with the Diddy shit, you're probably doing some stuff on your own too.
Well, yeah, you feel like you can get away with it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
May 5th, huh?
I'm not putting money on it. Would you put anything? I wouldn't even put $1 on it.
No.
I just don't see it. I wonder, there's got to be odds for that out there. There's odds for all this stuff. You can bet on anything now.
Well, let's put it this way. If it goes May 5th, we're going to need to hire another person because I can't do.
Well,
I can't do.
There is no courtroom coverage of this trial.
No,
it's a federal trial. So no, there is no courtroom coverage of this trial.
Oh, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. You're right.
So this is just a summary every day. And then we get, the sketch artist because we still live in 1894.
Okay, then I won't put out a help wanted ad.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't do Daybell, Karen Reed. There's another one that's looming as well. I thought.
Off the top of Kohberger's not till August.
Maybe that's the one I'm always confusing.
And I believe I just saw the other day the children's book author Corey Richins has been pushed back again.
Okay. Maybe that's the one that I thought was coming.
It was
spring.
lurking. It was lurking, but something, I don't remember exactly what happened. Adelson is, when is Adelson? It's not super far off, but I don't think it's in a couple weeks or anything like that.
I just feel like some of them are they're all clumping together. Just like Swiss Miss hot cocoa mix in the bottom of your mug. It's all clumped together at the bottom and needs to be stirred. Are you kidding?
It's amazing how much that stuff gets stuck at the bottom of mugs. And how
does.
difficult it is to clean it out.
Yes. And I know that. I have it listed Adelson is June 3rd.
Well, there you go.
That could change. So, it just depends. But it all seems to be happening right now. We don't have anything for Rex Heuermann at this time.
No, that's going to be far out. I doubt that's even going to happen this year.
I guess we'll see. But I don't see Diddy happening in less than a month. There's no way in 3 weeks that trial's going to take off.
I don't see Diddy happening in 2020. What year is it? 25? No, I don't see it happening till next year at the soonest.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, deep breath. You can just drink up the Karen Reed and the Lori Vallow Daybell Kool-Aid for a little bit. I heard it's very delicious, almost as good as Sharkleberry Finn.
Craving non-stop true crime updates? Press subscribe now and get the latest cases, analysis, and expert commentary delivered straight to your feed. Only from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.